Ninja. Welcome, my name is Pedro Porto and I have been working in HR for the past 10 years. Now I have created this channel to bring your work, your career, your team to the very next level. Last week we spoke about what is the right mentality, the mindset when you're looking for a job. It's very hard, but with the right focus and the right perspective, you can do it. Well, now it's time to find out what are we up against. The enemy, the mysterious recruitment process. Well, to be honest, the recruitment process, it's not rocket science, and I'm sure a lot of you will recognize the different steps, but I'm here to make it very, very clear. The recruitment process goes through what traditionally is said the recruitment funnel. So it's this idea that you have a lot of candidates applying for the top and only one person being hired in the end. Throughout that funnel, there are a couple of filters that I'm going to talk about right now. So the first filter that any candidate needs to go through, it is the CV phase. So what that entails that the recruiter will be looking at your CV and then they will be trying to match what you have said on your CV with the requirements of the position. Some recruiters really appreciate very visual CVs, make them interesting to read, while other recruiters prefer a more traditional CV, very structured. How can you figure out what is the best? Look at the company behavior. Once again, remember, believe in what the companies are doing and not what they're saying. So if you have a company that is saying that they want someone that is very innovative, but when you look at their communication channels, everything is super traditional, super square, then you know what type of CV you need to do, right? You need to have a traditional CV with some innovation sprinkle of it, but not too much. Don't get them scared. On this phase is one of the hardest for each candidate to pass. Why is that? Because as it is right now, in most of the cases, you have a lot of people applying. So you have a very, very high competition among the other candidates. And each recruiter will only spend 30 seconds looking at your CV. That's why it's so important to make it readable, because then you help this recruiter do their job. If you are the person to be chosen, perfect, check. If you're not the right match, check. And now don't make the recruiter work hard to figure out what your CV entails. That will only diminishes your chance. So the second filter is the assessment part. It's very common in big organizations and also used on smaller ones as well. It entails in technical tests, psychological assessments, logical assessments, creativity assessments. You have all these different types of psychometric tools that the recruiters use to filter person out. The third phase of a recruitment is the interview. Funny, right? A lot of us spend a lot of time figuring out what should I say during an interview, and that's the one that feels the most challenging for us. But honestly, it should be the easiest part. Why? Because you can prepare for that. In an interview, more often than not, you will be asked the same questions again. If you practice your story with your values and experience and how that relate to the company, then you have a pretty good base to do the interview. Honestly, on interviews, sometimes the hiring manager or the recruiter is as nervous as you are. They have a lot of pressure. We have a lot of pressure. We need to deliver and close that position as soon as possible. So keep that in mind. It's just another human being in front of you. Yeah, I know there are more and more computer interviews coming along, and we'll do that in a specific video. Now that we have done the CV phase, the assessment phase, the interview phase, then you got a job offer. And then you think, I don't need to worry about anything. It's job done. No, my friend. Now you have something in your hands. Now this is the time of negotiation. Yes, that is also part of the recruitment process. Maybe not for you as a candidate, but definitely for the HR professional. And you should keep that always in mind. When you eventually get the job offer, and then you see the package that you get. Is it addressing everything that you want? It is the salary that you're looking for? What are the benefits? Keep all those things in mind, because in a lot of positions, you have the chance to negotiate a bit. How to negotiate? Well, it varies a lot from culture to culture. Some cultures prefer a very aggressive stance. The ones that say, you know what, I'm not taking this job unless I get 20% more. Other cultures prefer a more diplomatic approach that states, thank you for this offer, I really appreciate it. In accordance to my own research and perspective, I was hoping for this salary to reflect somewhat the industry levels, and then I'm looking for 20% more than is currently offered. Is that something that you can offer? Once again, both the same message. You want 20% more than what it was offered. One is very direct, the other one a bit more diplomatic. So keep that in mind. Research the company once again, research who you are talking to, and then you will nail it. Another part of the recruitment that is somewhat controversial these days is the part if you can get recommendations from previous colleagues or previous employers, so on and so forth. And why is becoming controversial? Because due to the data protection laws, it becomes increasingly difficult for people to feel comfortable to say anything, either positive or negative, to anyone that they have worked before. As a candidate, you always have access to all information that is given for you. At least here in Europe, any information that the recruiter have, they need to share with you. But in any case, if you have someone that you really trust and then got your back, doesn't matter if it's a former manager, an internal stakeholder, a peer, doesn't matter. Give that person as a contact for reference. Make sure to tell them so suddenly they don't get a call saying, hey, what about this dude? Have you worked with him before? Maybe it's not so nice. But if you have someone that got your back, use that. So to bring it all together, let's remember what we have discussed today. We discussed the concept of the recruitment funnel. It starts with a lot of people and ends with only one. And then there are a couple of filters on it. You have the CV phase, you have the assessment phase, you have the recruitment phase, you have the negotiation phase, and then you have sometimes in between of this, the recommendation phase. Keep those in mind, and then we will dissect each one of these phases in upcoming videos. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell button, and keep up with us. If you have any comments, if you have any suggestions or questions, leave down below. I'll be waiting for them. Thank you and see you next time.